But on to this next map. It's going to be Snakewater G7. I think this is the first time we've seen it this season. Maybe saw it in the pre-season playoffs. But there's a few subtle changes. If you look at CP2, it's been slightly widened out. The ramp is larger as you go from green onto the point. Then, of course, you've got these big wooden-ass fences here. There's slightly different sight lines. You can't snipe all the way from the lobby into the spawn door. That's been changed slightly. The drop down is gone. That is no longer anything at all. You can't even get in there. There is a little side ramp. You can still use the entrance in to get into last and get out from last, but it doesn't go all the way to 2 anymore. I'm trying to remember what else is different on middle. Yeah, you've got solid fences now instead of that chicken wire, so there's less visibility, but the fence itself is pretty much the same sort of dimension there. And a big change in terms of how the map actually plays is that the spawn, if you hold CP4, is not close in the kitchen. It's much farther back near the saw room on middle, so you've got a greater distance to travel. You can't really use suicide waves so much on last, because previously it was very easy to send players in and die and then hold on 2 or CP4, you know, with a smaller contingent of players, but now it's just really slow to reinforce, and I think that's a good thing. It's easier to push out from last. Long story short.
Yeah, I spent an entire match that ended up 0-0 defending last point after we lost middle, and then just could not push out. Ridiculous. 30-minute long match of my team defending last. Terrific. But now, with this new revisions, I think it's a lot better, and I much prefer it.
Just getting confirmation there from Numlocked and Eps that there will be interviews afterwards, so I'm sure that will be good banter. Maybe they have the mumble info already. If not, I'm sure John can get them that. But as it stands, neither team is readied up, I think. Hopefully they haven't gone live yet, as we've been blathering on here, but it is 6 players apiece on the server. We have the correct conditions to begin a game. We just need them to press F4 and click ready.
Yeah, I was just watching the hats, to be honest. I did not know that there was a hat called the Halloweener, which is a giant hot dog. I did not know that.
Where is it?
Raymond was showing it off earlier, but I think he switched off it now. But this update is just... the miscs coming out of this game are ridiculous.
Man, I've got some of the sickest ones. Got the hunted hat, the unicorn thing. Man.
The unicorn thing I dislike on a matter of principle, and the only way it could be worse
you don't like
is if
bronies?
it was... No. I've got nothing against bronies. It's just catering specifically to them.
You gonna give me a bro hoof?
I'm not gonna give you a bro hoof. I do not have hooves, nor do I want them. That scout. That scout looks like he's timed out.
Is the whitelist on here? Or are the Halloween hats allowed, I wonder?
Probably just been updated.
I want to see some new Halloween swag. I've been putting in a lot of hours on Hell Tower, trying to get some loot, man. Open a bunch of crates too. I haven't got any more crate drops. Crate drops since though. So you know, my gambling addiction. It's just on the back burner for the time being. But if anybody wants to send me crates, you know, I will pop tags. I'll happily open those bad boys. 100 crates, please. Send them my way.
I stopped doing crates, and I don't want to start again. I spent way too much money on them. Now I have none.
John's inviting me to trade, our cameraman. If you have just joined us, this is teamfortress.tv with Admirable, Ryushi and Jon. We're here for ETF2L Season 16, powered by Blackout Gaming Premiership Week 6 fixture between Epsilon eSports, Bifragnet Networks, and Reverto. It's going to be map 2, Snakewater G7. One team has readied up, and I'm going to accept a trade invite to mess up John's camera action.
Well, you need to be cancelling that right now, because this is it. We're going live right here, right now. Going to be watching this G7 rollout. I don't think there's any much difference in the rollouts, is there?
No, not at all. It's going to be pretty standard. We do see Hui rolling out from his Solrum side. Numlock comes in from the lower, and both them are in trading stickies, but it's going to be Hui who walks across the point first. Double soldier bomb here from Epsilon. They're going to get the demo man, but Ether cleans up both soldiers that are taking down gear, and Mike as Rising goes in and gets his man. Numlock's gone down for Epsilon, and it's a man advantage here for Reverto, and it seems to be Snowball slipping away from Epsilon, who find only Stefan and Raymond alive. They're going to get chased down. Stefan doing work here, lands a mate shot in a second onto Ethog to pick that one up. Stefan on 12 HP, but nobody can land a shot on him. He's waiting for the respawn. The pumpkin pie comes up, he doesn't get it though, goes in for the frag onto Starkey. He was feeling like Superman there, indestructible, but Starkey was going to be the sheriff. He shot him down, Ryushi.
Yeah, but of course, Stefan doing huge plays there as he let Raymond get away. Raymond was next to Stefan for the beginning of that fight and ended up getting away and managing to get Uber out of it. And now Numlock picking up Starkey on the flanks as Stark comes in, tries to get a bit aggressive and see what's going on, gets caught out by Sticks, and now Epsilon looking to push off that. Actually, they're really getting aggressive into this forward saw room. They spot out the sticky trap. Mike jumps in, gets Uber, takes down Huey. That's going to be the demo down for Reverto, and they're going to have to back out. Except for not, they pushed the Uber straight in. They waited that out, but Epsilon are able to just run away with it. And Mike's still behind them. Gears come in from the flank. Rising goes down. Surely Epsilon just going to be able to clean up now. There
Epsilon love those. Oh, there's Raymond going down now. Ethog will get that to sort of save a little bit of face. Epsilon love to push on a scout advantage. Like some teams, sure they'll push, but they really commit as soon as they get a scout down or whatever. So they're a really scout-centric team, but that one pick was enough for them to just go in. Bar got caught out a little bit. Huey was trying to hold close there, and there was a bit of disconnect between Medic and Demoman. He got dropped in, and that just really kicked the door open. Epsilon were in there, and now they're straight onto CP4. There's going to be a little bit of a bomb in here as 3 Reverto players go in for no apparent reason. Bar's committed to this one as well, and Reverto not really thinking straight there. Maybe they just wanted to get this round out of the way quickly. They're going to gift this one to Epsilon, put a bow on that. It's Halloween present, I think, Remo.
I think they all came in on that was because Mike got a huge air shot onto, it looked like Huey, I think. I don't know, it was just Gibbs by the time I saw it. But that's it. Everyone wants to watch Mike's air shot. That's what it's all about.
I think you could be right. It's going to be Medigun again. No Kritzkrieg on this middle. And both them men rolling out from that Sorum. Numlock slightly slower, that's the standard. And he's not really doing much in terms of damage. He's trying to pop stickies up top as Soldiers work that way as well. All Numlock stickies now going top right, as he's really trying to control that high ground. Look at the health in the Reverto players. 3 of them super weak, but it's actually Epsilon who are losing players first. A great brave play there from Reverto, and focus fire to get those 2 frags, now 3 frags, and Gear himself is running as well. Escapes on 96, he's going to meet up with Raymond, and they will get that Uber charge up slowly but surely, but at the minute they're at disadvantage, 10% to go, and Reverto push here, they might catch him. No, they're going to, oh, they've actually gone lower. Nobody's watching lower, a little spam rocket comes in, they're gonna push out with it. They get denied by the scout. Uber comes in, Bar Ubers, and they're going to go last. They're going to give him the little run around here, pushing straight through onto last. There's already a scout on the point, and this could be Reverto's first round on the board here. Yes, yeah. They're going to make it 1-1. Wow.
Nice play, completely ignoring the Uber. That was nice, that was good. Numlocked and Ips lolling about this in chat, but really they're actually staring daggers at each other across the midpoint. Yeah. Good point. Good round. Well done, Reverto, I think. And gonna be watching this second roll. I like watching Gear. I think Gear is probably the best roamer we have in Europe right now, and I love watching his plays. And he's just gonna be taking it a little bit slowly, just jumping up on top, trying to control that top point, trying to destroy Ips, who's up there with him. And he does in fact get Ips. He just finishes him off, but he goes down as well. Numlocked again going down. Bash as well. Epsilon losing 3 players and having to get out. Mike's still in though, but he goes down to Huey as well. So only Rayman and Shocky up right now. And Reverto just going to be content to cap this point and then push off. Epsilon don't seem to be taking this a little bit. From the chat, it looks like Epsilon aren't taking this a little bit seriously. But perhaps now that they've lost the point and a middle, I think that they might be taking it a little bit more seriously now and actually have a proper defensive last.
Yeah, they would love you to believe that they're not taking it seriously, but they just got taken apart there in the middle. Maybe they're underestimating Reverto slightly. Might be their wake-up call. Usually whenever they see a couple of middles, they start to figure out how to dismantle and take them apart. But right now there's no middle action in sight, as it is CP4 to last push in the hands of Reverto. Both teams have Uber charge. We're going to see Rising go in here. He's going for the force onto Raymond. Raymond serves, and Rising will not be able to get that force. 3-player sacrifice there for Reverto. Ethug is one of them, so he might off-class as well. You're going to see Ips, Stark, and Bar hold on here. Bar gets forced out. Raymond isn't even committing to this one, hasn't popped at all. And Ips and Bar are in deep. Bar's in two minds as to what to do. He's going to make an exit now. Ips is still up top there. He's got a little bit of a buff. He's going to bomb it. Actually, he's just drawn Tenton here, allowing his medic to escape. He will get out. And Hui and Stark respawned and died again. Rising as well goes down. And Reverto not really achieving much there. They did manage to get their medic out. Ips has gone down a little bit of a timeout. Or he's actually rejoined immediately. Maybe didn't like his score.
Does that give him a quicker respawn?
Oh, there is that too, maybe. I forget.
I'm pretty sure that was made illegal, but I don't know if that was officially written down as a rule, because that it's a little bit shifty right there. But Epsilon looking to get a couple of frags right now. Reverto trying to come in, but Huey's down. They've got to run away from this, surely. Rising's down. Ips is down. Everyone's down. Only just going to be Starkey and Ethug defending on last. They've got a heavy and a scout, but it's not going to be enough, you know. Epsilon are already coming in. They're already bombing in on that heavy. He's not going to be able to do anything, and that's going to be a second point again. Bar coming in actually, but no, he's not going to be able to do anything.
River gets forced off. Raymond flashes it off so his team can catch. The spawns come in for Reverto, but they can't cover the distance in time. They're just left there to get Beaver fragged. Bash picks up one onto Ips. It's going to be Medigan again. No crits Krieg yet. Nobody's feeling desperate. I think Reverto are going to be happy with this 2-1 scoreline after 7 minutes played. Hui rolling out faster than Numlock. Again, actually Numlock rolls out from the lower side this time. Demoman trying to put a little bit of damage, but Numlock's just waiting for his supporting cast to roll in here now. He's continuing to focus Hui. It seems like they really want to take Hui out of this build. They do get him as well. They got Bar. Stefan straight in there onto Bar. Reverto totally collapsed on that middle. And it seems like Epsilon had a different strategy that time. Weren't too concerned. Numlock's stickies weren't going up top at all. They were all just going directly onto Hui. Just seemed like they really wanted to take that demo man down.
I really hope John was on Numlock's point of view there, because the pipes coming out of him were insane. Just like the twitch pipe to the right as the soldier pogo shot past him. Just the double pipe on him was ridiculous. Numlock is just so good. And in fact, he looks like they're going to take a scout, both scouts out and the demo through that sort of that little where the drop down used to be, and they take down Ethug, and that's going to be what they really want. Because there's now going to be a scout on the point. The stickies get popped, that's bashed down, but Numlock's dead as well. Epsilon actually using a lot of players right now. Raymond's down to 7. Gear's the only one up with 180. Can he go for the hero play onto last? I don't think he can. He's in cheese right now.
Alert. Our control point.
Might be able to get onto Bar. He's seen Bar, but Ips has seen him right now, so Bar knows what to do. He's going to be able to surf away from this, and Gear's just going to go down.
Yeah, evasive maneuvers there from Bar will keep him in the uber advantage here, in the lead. He's about to hit 90%. Raymond hasn't even spawned it, he just spawns now and will be building pretty much a full disadvantage. Reverto walking forward now, the clock is ticking down. There's 2 players behind them as well, they've been spotted out. The scout sees Mike, but he doesn't see Bash, and in comes Rising there from the respawn. He's going to spot out that scout as well. That will be Bash going down. Mike is still behind somewhere though. Down middle actually, he's come all the way around through the Sorum, jumped up top and got the foresight onto Bar, but they lost 3 players for it. And if Reverto have any sense, they will continue to push very hard here and try and make this one count, Ryushi.
I think they can actually. They might be able to take the point out of this, especially as there's 3 down now as well. Numlock's going to be going down. We've got the spawn wave up on last, but is it going to be enough? Can they push in without that demo? Huey and Rising going down there to the scout of Stefan. Gear taking down Ethog as well. Reverto, they had the chance and then just perhaps a little bit of overextension.
They're going for a wrap around underneath. They're expecting Epsilon to push out, but Epsilon have read it. They've dropped back and it's Kritzkrieg. Raymond gets the Kritzkrieg popped onto Mike, picks up a 3k. Starkey, Eps and Bar all go down. And that was just good awareness there from Epsilon. Saw that Reverto were trying to give them the old run around. Immediately went back, didn't continue with their push. And the fact they had Kritzkrieg as well surprised me, Ryushi.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the plugin that allows you to see what medigun they're running, and it still surprises you. I don't even have that.
I'm a race car, I'm flying around.
This is ridiculous. But Epsilon, you know, I'm surprised they haven't actually capped this right yet. They've got both scouts on it, so it's going to be a �4. Solly coming in out of Ips, I think. He's not going to be able to do anything, he's just going to back off. Reverto, it's just a little bit of a scrappy fight. They're just going to try and hold this, just from the amount of damage they put down on Epsilon. But Epsilon have got uber advantage, so they're going to be quite content to sit on last. They've got advantage with 2-1. It's 20 minutes left.
It's crits. You got to push with it. They have to push. They can't just
true.
wait here. And Reverto need to remember that it's crits. They know they didn't kill Raymond, and the last charge he used was a Kritzkrieg, so they need to assume There's going to be a scout playing for the back cap here. It's going to be a one-on-one between E-Thug and the Bash. E-Thug down to 40 already.
Drops to the crits. Numlock only hitting one crit sticky before him and Raymond both going down, but it's the one he wanted. Takes down Bar. Ips and Stark going to be the only two up. Stark's going to go down and Ips is just hiding on point, but he gets found out by Bash, who drops in from on top of him and just meat shuts him down before Ips is even able to react.
I can't remember the last time I saw a good exchange for Reverto. Every time they're in a fight, it just doesn't seem to be going their way. And unless they can change that, they're not going to be able to claw their way back into this game as it stands. They're a round down. It's 2-1 at Epsilon. And it's about to be 18 minutes left on the clock. Here come Epsilon onto middle. Both scouts are furiously self-harming with that Boston Basher to build charge. It's going to be Mediguns apiece. And Epsilon walking forward slowly but surely. Numlock is putting down constant damage onto that Reverto combo. They're all pretty weak already as they are forced to jump up and contest the Epsilon soldiers. And they've actually managed to pick up Numlock and Mike in the process, so maybe a little bit over-eager from Epsilon. But now Epsilon are trying to send forward the scouts for the cleanup, but they find a pretty solid wall there of red players. If Byte was drawing his little force field diagram, it would just be a big straight line. Now they back off, pick up health and come in. The Uber forced off very early. Raymond has been able to milk at least 80% here. He's going to chase down Bar. Mike trying to do work with the rocket launcher. He's walking over the head of Eps now, and that might have been enough to get Bar out of there. Evershot denies the soldier who is giving chase. That was Gear actually got shut down there. The invulnerable Gear denied by the rockets of Ips. Bar survives, and Epsilon find themselves in a strange situation. A few of them are going to be able to be separated and picked off. There's Gear and Bash going down, and now Reverto has turned a tragedy into a triumph. Some big plays there, big shots from Ips, keeping his team in the game.
Yeah, Huey again going down right there, and that's going to be the signal that Epsilon need to come back in. They're getting aggressive with this. They're 2-to-1 men down, but they get the frags on the demo man and just let Mike and Numlock come in and just do what they do best, which is get frags and take names and all that damage dealing stuff. And Reverto, you know, it looked really good from them there, coming in on that counter push. I mean, that was a push followed by a counter push, followed by a push, followed by a counter push, followed by a push. I don't know. Everyone's countering each other.
Nutshell, baby.
Yeah. Epsilon now pushing on to the second point. The Uber actually comes out of Bar to try and stop this. He's going to send his scout in, but Raymond's easily able to counter it. And now Epsilon, again, they've got the better positioning out of this. They're just going to be able to get a couple of frags. They take down Stark. Ryzen's going to jump in, but he's surely going to be able to go down really quickly. Yeah, Stefan going absolutely ham right now. Bash and Numlock going down to a sticky trap from Huey, but Ips Bar down. Huey and Ether, the only ones to defend on last, and it's 4v2. Surely Epsilon can take this. Especially as Mike just got Huey. And himself, but mainly Huey.
I think Reverto, they realised the Uber was too early. They tried to get out, but just couldn't. Everybody was running back, couldn't survive the Epsilon spam. Raymond's Ubers have all been pretty good in comparison to Bar's. I suppose it's because generally Reverto were the ones trying to initiate and get back into the game, but Epsilon have been playing a pretty strong Uber game here. Especially that crits creek we saw earlier was a nice little surprise onto another middle low. It's going to be Huey from the Saw Room. Numlock comes in low and is trying to find an angle here onto Huey. He's putting a lot of spam up top, but he's pre-firing nobody because everybody from Epsilon is on the floor. Now that soldier of Gear jumps up top fine, but that was Mike actually found a lot of stickies, then dropped onto Eps, got cleaned up, and 3 frags come in quick succession there for Reverto. It's going to be 4 in fact as Stefan and Raymond look for the exit. It always seems to be Stefan is the guy who's responsible for escorting Raymond out of these medals that don't quite work out, and that's keeping them in the game for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Reverto have won the past 3 middles now, I think. And that's really, really good for them, but then they just seem to fail on this last push, or the transition into second. And that's just so unfortunate, you know, they're coming out of proper good engagements, just losing players off the fly. Or Huey will overextend and he'll go down. Starkey again overextends, goes down. I don't know if that was a suicide play, I didn't see it, but he's down. And Epsilon, you know, they push things off this.
Yeah, they love those scout advantages, and especially with the longer spawns here, it's a pretty decent opportunity to try and push. They're just looking for an extra pick or a little bit of damage here somewhere to give them that cue to push in. And Huey is thinking that he wants to go in actually, but he's not getting the heals at the moment. It finds himself taking a lot of damage, and a scout got in behind there from underneath. That's Bash going to get the force off, and again, a poor Uber scenario here from Reverto. Can they actually make something happen with it? They've already lost Ips to get the foresight, and it looks like everybody else from Reverto will manage to survive. Now Epsilon are tempted to push here with 4 against 5, and still heals on the Reverto side. There's a scout or someone behind actually picking up Ethog. I think that was below. And now they have the man advantage. They might just pick here. Starkey going to get very aggressive there from Cheese, but gets shut down as he finds Mike. The pocket soldier eats a rocket, then followed up with the shotgun, gets tagged and put down. Now Epsilon drop the hammer as they see the man advantage continues. Oh, it's the fruit machine is just rolling. They've hit the jackpot. Gonna clean up there, man. 3 watermelons came up. Yeah, that's right.
Yep. Wow, a really nice cleanup from Epsilon. I'm actually really distracted at the moment because there's a zombie Santa stood outside my window just staring in at me, and it is really creepy. Please continue talking while I get rid of him.
Zombie Santa.
I'm not even kidding, it's terrifying.
Raymond sitting here with 100% bars just spawned. He's only at 20 bit of a difference here. Epsilon really in the driving seat. They're 3-1 up. There's 13 minutes left on the clock, and they have the advantage. They have the time to decide how they want to push in here. They're going to drop down from balcony. Huey's pre-firing pipes, but he's got no stickies in position there. There's a soldier hiding in the respawn though. I think that will be Rising coming out. Can't get the force onto Raymond. He's got some moves that can juke. Rising gets shut down though. Ethog as well also went down in that melee, and Reverto are going to back off here. They might have bought enough time though to build up their charge. They need to continue to build. They have 85%. We'll surely get it in time, and the spawns will come in, so well worth the sacrifices there. But big air shot there onto Mike, just puts Starkey into his place. Back in your box, Scout, says Mike. Bucket soldier, sensational. And now he finds that off the back of that damage, Reverto have lost everybody. Jeez.
Wow.
Big entry frag there from Mike, getting that scout pick in an Uber versus Uber situation. He just hit those shots and Bar didn't have time to react to save Stark.
Yeah, absolutely. A really nice play. Mike just stood on top of the point, just putting damage down onto everything. Really good from him. And coming onto this middle again, Reverto looking really strong on these middles, you know. Huey's getting off some good damage. They're taking down Mike and Numlocked really early, which is really good. There's huge damage coming out of both of those players. But Starkey goes down. Epsilon maybe has figured out what Reverto are doing right now, because they're taking down both scouts. Mike goes down again, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Reverto, there's a soldier behind them, and that's Gear. Stefan down as well there, and again Epsilon just gets split up and back off, especially as Bash and Numlocked and Rayman going down. Huey Rising doing damage, taking names and getting kills, and Gear's the only one up, but he's behind them. Is he going to be able to go for spawners? Looks like he is. He's stood outside the forward spawn at the moment.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they know he's behind. Starkey is sort of looking around. He's just going to go through Saw Room there, but the respawn here, nobody spawned forward. Gear jumps, gives his position away. Ethog actually spots him, and he's just going to call him out and keep moving forward here. No point in trying to take on a soldier fight there. It doesn't matter. They're going to leave Gear for dead and push ahead here with their Uber advantage. They find Stefan in the lobby there. He was sniping. He's going to get taken out. Bash as well. That's both scouts down for
Epsilon. Right now, Bar pops Zuba onto Ips. He jumps in, he catches him, and Ips just forcing them out of the point. And they're really going to try and go for this right now. Ips doesn't get any frags with it, but he's forcing them away and forcing them back into spawn, but it's not quick enough. And now Reverto come in. They take a couple of points. Bar's the only one standing on the point. He's dodging pipes from Huey, and this could be a second point, especially as Bash is down as well. Stefan tries to come in, Raymond tries to come in, and that's going to be a second point. That takes it to 4-2. A really good play out of Reverto, leaving Gear behind and forcing Epsilon to fight 5v6, and then they lost 2 on the entry frag, and that's so good.
Yeah, that was a bit of a gamble maybe from Ips. Maybe a bit of an ego push there. He went in just for the Uber, but against 3. Managed to make it work though, as his team did cap the point very quickly and followed up. So I can't really fault them there. Onto the 7th middle. It's 4-2 here for Epsilon. We're going to see roaming soldiers just fly past each other there up top across the logs, and Ips is going to take that distraction to just walk forward here and put down a lot of spam. Gets the frag onto Numlock. Ethog finds Bash as well. Epsilon have been on the back foot here, but they've actually got decent health. The scouts of Reverto just need to play together and try and pick a target to focus down, but that rocket from Mike is good, and Ethog gets cleaned up. Now things are slipping away. Stark's going to be left a lamb to the slaughter there. Actually got Stefan. Mike cleans him up though, and Raymond will get his Uber as Bar runs for the hills, man.
Yeah, that was just unlucky, you know. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication coming out of Ethog and Stark. They tried, but you know, it's just Solly and Scout versus Scout and a Scout. It's gonna be a lot easier for the Solly and Scout. But the Uber actually comes out of Bar right now. They're trying to push into this point, trying to get the frags, but it's not gonna be enough. Raymond's molting like crazy, keeping all his important players alive, and Reverto just gonna have to back out here. They get them in though. Gear and Bash both going down. Numlock down as well. Reverto only losing Ips and Rising so far. Reverto in a much better position right now. They're rushing onto the point with their scouts and demo. They're forcing Epsilon to escape right now. And they're going to be a middle point.
Yeah, that frag on Numlock was so important. He was the one player in Epsilon that was trying to keep the main combo of Reverto out. As Rising went behind and distracted quite a few players from Epsilon, Numlock got taken out, and that seemed like a very sort of foolish push from Reverto just to go straight in there, Uber in early, and trade Ubers. But the fact they had some sort of a plan there to play off the players they sent behind, I think it was Reverto, or it was
Ips and Rising.
Exactly. Gear's black box didn't seem to have much effect on that. He got pretty much instantly shut down up top. But as they push in here, it's Uber versus Uber, and Stefan's gonna go in and get the force though. And again, Raymond in a situation where he can milk away, and it does eventually pop out. Bar doesn't escape, he's going to go down, and Epsilon will be happy with that little exchange yet again. There are players behind though who can slow things down and buy time. It's going to be both scouts. They go in and they get Raymond though, and that's going to give Bar a nice Uber advantage when he respawns. There is a back cap happening though, if you could call it that. It is middle being capped here by Bash. He wants points, not frags.
Stark and Numlocked fighting each other on second. Both of them. Stark was on 20 health, and he looked to be going towards a health pack, and then just juked left at the very last second. Numlock missed him with the sticky, but now there's a scout coming in of Shocky, who's just gonna meat shot him in midair. Just coming at the end of this pause. Stark trying so hard to get that kill, and it's not gonna happen, which is really unfortunate for him.
Poor guy, poor guy. He doesn't even realise that Stefan's behind him. Stefan's crosshair needs to be a little bit lower though.
Well, I mean, this isn't actually the pause, is it? So this would have happened in real time. So I'm sure Stefan is just lining up his aim. That will be a wipe.
I think he's gonna miss. I think he's gonna miss for sure.
He's gonna miss. Okay, well this is the call out from Admirable right now. Stefan to miss his next shot.
He's gonna miss 6 and then accidentally hit his suicide key and die.
I wouldn't get that far. One miss.
Yeah.
One miss is fair enough. 6 and suicide, it's not going to happen.
Per Stark. Can't even see the respawn times now. It's been slightly messed up. Maybe we'll find out here. It could be a tactical pause from Ips. You know he loves those. Pretending his mouse got disconnected or something.
I've been taking a look at stream chat every now and then, and apparently there's a huge argument over the controversy about Ips leaving Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory and all that sort of stuff, and Infused folding and all that sort of stuff. Basically, I think it looks like a lot of kids are getting angry in chat about it. It really isn't have any bearing on this map.
What's the gist of it? What are the two opposing arguments?
They're basically saying Ips is really bad, and he got kicked.
Well, he did get kicked, but he's not really bad.
Really not. He's been playing a really good aggressive style of pocket so far, from what I've seen this map.
But he is bottom of the scoreboard. What does that tell you?
He did leave and rejoin though.
Indeed, indeed. I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
Oh yeah, of course.
Ips does.
Are you dressed as a devil? It is Halloween after all.
No, I'm in my birthday suit. It's actually my birthday today. Oh, Ips says, I asked him, was it a tactical pause, and he tells me in Steam chat he's been laying down the law on Hui, so obviously he's not impressed with how his demo man has been playing, and it must have been a little bit of a tactical pause, so hopefully we'll get things back underway soon enough. But Reverto trying to make a change to the way they're playing right now. They definitely want to get back into this game. Probably the closest game Epsilon have had this season. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, what, 4-2 at the moment. That's going to be the unpause right there. I think for a little bit. Stefan, he does hit the first shot and does take down Stark. We're wrong. Wow. Get good at casting, Admirable. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh wow, I see, I just avoid that by retrying instantly to fix my HUD. So now, right now I'm casting the loading screen for Snake or G7.
Well, it's a good loading screen. It's a good loading screen, but Epsilon right now are pushing into last. And Reverto, I think they've only got about 4 players up, but they've got that heavy, and he's going to get that buff, so it's going to be hard for Epsilon to push in. 6-on-6 right now. Reverto can put up a pretty solid defense. And of course, this is not American rules, so even if they lose this point, they're still in for it, and there's still 7 minutes left, so it's still possible for them to make a comeback and still win, especially if Huey gets the law laid down on him and doesn't overextend as much as I think he has been.
Stark was sniper for a second there. I think E-Thug was heavy as well. Somebody was rocking heavy. But Reverto has set up. They're going to go cookie cutter as they attempt to push out here. Need those scouts on the field. Bar takes a little bit of damage and is forced to pop off. Raymond has managed to milk about 50% yet again. And this is an opportunity for Epsilon to clean up. Everybody goes lower. Reverto tries to get out that lower door and they lose all three. Ips, Bar and Hui going down. And this is probably around the time that the pause came in. As this round ends, we'll see what it says in the chat. What sort of
pause, there
excuse
we go.
does Ips give? Just a pause. Oh.
Yeah, no, pause, and then Numlock calling it mouse or tactical. But yeah, they knew it was tactical, but Epsilon being the gods that they are, they allowed Ips, commoner Ips, to deal with his tactical pause.
It's his word against everybody else's. How can you prove that? It's fine, it's fine. On to another middle of it. Still minigun. Reverto not feeling too distressed. They're not going to break out the crit streak and try and gamble here with the casino charge. And Reverto working their way forward. Pick up a frag onto Gear, shutting down that roamer. There's Numlock with a big frag onto Hui though. Ips also gets Stefan. One scout down for Epsilon. A nice little scout advantage here for the cleanup as the middle just gets into the later stages. E-Thug finds Mike with a crater there as he tries to escape into the storeroom. He will just collapse under the weight of his own body, and it's going to be Uber versus Uber. Raymond doing a great job at surviving on middle yet again. Going to keep his team in the game and in contention for this CP4.
Yeah, I mean they're holding out sort of really right far back on that far left. And they've got the height advantage. Numlock's able to put down some stickies. Raymond's making the clever thing and backing out right now. But he comes out back again and gets the Uber forced out of him, trying to save Numlock. But the Uber comes out of Bar as well. That's a cap point going to be going down to Reverto. No one's died yet, and Reverto could try for the back cap play. No, they look like they just want to try and go for an engagement. Gear taking down Ethug with that black box, and that might be the pause that they need. Epsilon Numlock goes down though.
Here's trying to create a situation for his teammates to work off here. He stayed in cheese. He didn't go back to lobby because he knew he would have died instantly. He actually got Bash involved in that, and Bash has gone down trying to assist Gear, and that's a 3-man advantage here as Reverto push it into last. They just need to get a bit of focus fire going, but Stefan's going ham, picks up Hui. Solo effort, and wow, Epsilon just turn it on against the odds there. Just skilled it, man. Absolutely crushed Reverto. And if only they had just stopped and killed them one at a time. Kill Stefan, then walk forward, kill Mike, then kill Raymond. They might have capped, but they didn't. And this back cap might work though. Oh wow, I'll eat my words. It's all part of the plan. E-Thug. Well played.
But that was just an insane performance out of Stefan and Mike. Considered probably the best at their classes. I'm not... Probably the best at their classes. Just showing Reverto how it's done right there. And Raymond just dancing around, not really looking useful, except giving Mike those heals that he so needs. But we're going to be coming up to this 9th mid right now. It's 5-3, so it's really actually probably the closest. This is, in fact, the closest game that Epsilon have had this season. They're losing a lot of middles, and that's really helping Reverto to get those pushes done.
Now Hui is taking a lot of heat here from the scout, but he's got the full heals from Bar, and Epsilon find themselves 3 down. Gear is going to go and try and go in. Oh, he's looking for the medic as Raymond goes down as well. Stefan, the last one alive to do something. And Reverto are picking up some momentum off the back of that back cap. 3 minutes 30 left on the clock. 2 rounds difference. They're in the ascendancy here to at least get one more round. They'll save a little bit of face if they manage to make it 5-4. Would you be happy with that result? Yeah,
definitely. It's a really, really good result for them as well. They must be feeling really happy with that if they do get 5-4. But yeah, I mean, Epsilon getting wiped. I don't think I've seen that in a long time.
Mark this date down on your calendar then. I'm just watching in the lobby Gear with that black box popping off a few shots. Not really doing much, but a very distinctive sound. You always know where Gear is when you hear that black box. And there comes the Uber though, straight in, and it's a pause again.
Yeah, I was watching Bash's point of view on Sniper, but no one moved into lobby. They all came down low, and hopefully he called that. But Raymond's in a pretty dangerous position out of this. If E-Thug's going to be able to hit him, I don't know. Has E-Thug got the crosshair on him? It's almost so close on him. And Raymond could be going down here. He could be the first frag of this Uber push. And that could signal Epsilon losing another round, and then even possibly losing another after that, because that still leaves enough time for Reverto to get around.
You shouldn't kill him. It's like, if they know the Uber charge, they don't need to kill Raymond. E-Thug should just stop, turn around and shoot Gear instead. He doesn't know what health Raymond has. Maybe he knows he did 50 or whatever, but the medic frag is not important whatsoever right now. He's like, Raymond is going to have to go to spawn or else just walk forward if he realises that E-Thug isn't going to shoot him. But the frags they need right now are the combat classes. They've ubered in here and they haven't actually killed anyone.
Yeah.
They need to get some picks. The medic's not going to matter. Because if they kill the medic, they're going to be reloading and they're still going to have 5 Epsilon players in their faces. They need to kill the people who can kill them right now if they want to hold on to this push.
Yeah, I think looking at Huey's point of view, he's actually sort of realised this and is... Although they were going for the medic, he's now sort of looks to be turning away and maybe trying to get Gear, who's on top of that point right there. And that's what they need to be doing. They need to be getting those frags, like you're saying.
Look at the lobby, though.
How is Stefan at high in midair?
Like, this is the... I know this Uber push is still going on, but this is the strategy here. They've got 3 players in the lobby ready to bust through as the Ubers fade. They're going to really try and crack open that left-hand side on the attacking perspective, but Numlocked is there. And there's no heals for those guys in lobby. Numlock has an opportunity to just clutch this one and put down a lot of hurt on little low entrance if he's not distracted by what's going on the other side.
Yeah, he turns away to look to thing, but he looks back for a second, takes down Rising, Huey going down as well. Gear and Mike, they're both going to go down. Numlock creators. Epsilon not looking so good at the moment. Raymond trying to come in, he's healing the Pyro out of the Bash. And the Scout and the Sully trying to get in. Raymond taking a bit of damage. There we go. The medic go down. That's going to stop the Pyro's overheal. Bash taking down Eps though with that equalizer. And Bash. Oh, that crit flare onto Stark and Epsilon. Bash clutching that save. Oh, this probably leaves not enough time for them to make it 5-5, but they can still make it 5-4 and be probably the hardest game that Epsilon's played this season.
Yeah, they seem to panic and face them with that Pyro there. Choked a little bit. I imagine Epsilon in the same situation would have cleaned them up pretty quick, but as the game continues and I rejoin to fix my HUD, I find Reverto have lost 3, but Raymond has gone down for Epsilon, giving Bar a little bit of an advantage. Epsilon might just push here, as it... Ooh, Numlock's in 2 mines, he puts a few stickies out, then drops back, but finds he's been flanked by Starkey. No demo man up right now. It's basically a free push, a free entrance into the last point of Epsilon here. There are 2 players on the field right now. Gear and Mike. Gear able to heal himself with that black box, but not fast enough as he gets bomb rushed there by Starkey and Eps.
Oh, Raymond coming in and taking down Starkey just with that final thing. Epsilon, they're losing a lot of players, but yeah, that takes it a 5-4. 1 minute 22 on the clock. It's possible. Is it possible?
Yeah, it is absolutely possible. And the fact that I haven't got any message yet from anyone, maybe it's going to a golden cap, who knows? But I'm watching the Numlocked rollout here. He's going to go through Slaw Room, and he is slightly slower than Huey. His first sticky is nowhere near him, but it's on the field at least a little bit faster. Now both teams poised to make something happen. Huey just steps up point with that pain train. He's getting ×2 on there. And it looks like Epsilon are just going to do everything in their power not to lose. They're not worried about winning that middle. They just do not want to lose. It's going to be Uber versus Uber here. Epsilon trying to run the clock down, doing their best just to slow down Epsilon. As long as they, or Reverto, as long as they have 6 players up, it's going to be very hard for them to cap in the next 30 seconds. There needs to be a real calamity. Some sort of massive error here from Epsilon, who are just running the clock down superbly. Both teams with that charge. Bar's going to pop off first, but an instant repop there, or counter pop from Raymond. Eps picks up Gear on the flank. E-Thug onto Bash as well. This is a little man advantage. And Mike got Rising there, but Huey has found himself a little bit too far forward there. He's going to go down, and now the cleanup comes in. Wow, the scouts of Epsilon going to do work. Stefan actually just the Numlocked working together, and they did run that clock down. It is going to be 5-4. And Ryushi, we're going to have some interviews, I think, with Epsilon's
I am
Numlocked
excited.
and Reverto Ips.
This is good. This has been such a good match, actually. I was not expecting this to happen, and I'm glad it did. You know, Epsilon's, most of their other games have been, what, 5-0 rolls? And this, or, you know, this is 5-4. This was close. And it was almost just, if they hadn't lost Huey there, I mean, they ran out of time, really. Even if Huey had stayed like... I wanted Reverto to do well, to at least take it to a golden cap. I really did. I really was, you know, underdog story and all that. I wanted that to happen.
For sure. Just check out the logs here before we drag these guys in. I see E-Thug, Huey, and Numlocked all floating around there in the mumble ether. But looking at the damage, Hohi and Seb Barton Numlock pretty much neck and neck, all about 350 damage per minute there. Then you have, look at Stefan, 40 frags, Stefan, Mike 37. Gee whiz. Those guys are pretty good. Raymond as well with a good performance there in terms of kills and assists per death. Definitely doing a better job than Bar. Despite how close the game was, Raymond really seemed to keep his team in it. Didn't die very often. Only 10 deaths across 9-10 rounds there. Pretty decent, man.
Yeah, a real flip side compared to Viaduct, where he seemed to be the thorn in their side, but this time really staying alive a lot more. I mean, he had 5 less deaths than Bar, and that's, you know, really, really good. But I think my player of the match, for this map at least, I'm not quite sure of the first one, is definitely got to be Shocky, Stefan. You know, least deaths of combat classes, huge amount of frags, just doing everything right.
I'm going to give it the Numlock, actually, and I'll tell you why. Because, like, if you look at the logs and you sort it by kills and assists per death, you can see that Numlocked and Hui both had around similar frags per death. They both did similar damage, but the reason that Epsilon's players are able to clean up so well isn't necessarily because Mike and Stefan are great players. They're good, and they're better than Ips and Starkey, sure, but not that much better. The good thing, or the thing that they have going in their favour, is that they have Seb Barton screaming in their ear who is weak, and that's probably what Ips is getting mad about. I'm just going to look into my crystal ball here. That's probably why he paused the game, to tell Hui they didn't know who was actually weak, who they should be killing. So, like, the game was incredibly close, but I'm going to assume that the edge here was that just Numlocked was making the better calls as to who needs to die and who needs to get focused down, and Mike and Stefan were able to act on that. We'll get him in here and ask him if that's actually the case. So let's get these interviews underway.
Well, they're on your friends list. You're supposed to be giving them the mumble.
They're in mumble,
there we
yeah.
go.
I'm just dragging them in, you know.
Oh, I see.